Hey Aquarius babies, how's it going? My name is Yvonne. You might know me as Luna with LT Reads, and we are here today doing a very special, different type of reading. We are doing some channeled messages through my automatic writing, and I'm not gonna lie, Aquarius, you are definitely my favorite read so far of the collective. I left your reading feeling so uplifted and a whole new sense of renewal. So I feel like that is relative to what you are going through or hopefully going to go through soon. So let's go ahead and begin the reading for you, Aquarius. The reading starts off with a theme of getting back into nature. And even though you may feel like, oh, I spend time outside, I, go out for walks or I do this and I do that, I was thinking about really getting into nature, really looking at different leaves, paying attention to different rocks, being close to water, really appreciating nature, not just being out, if that makes sense. Not poking or jabbing, but if you find that you haven't really been paying attention to smaller details, that might be something of significance for you right now. I feel like you are in the process of blossoming quietly into a stronger sense of confidence. And when you reach that point, you will fully bloom. So corny. But the lotus flower did come up as a sign or symbol. And I was thinking about the lotus root and all of its different versatilities in terms of cuisines and cooking. I'm such a foodie like that. But the flower itself has beautiful symbolism. Spiritually, it represents purity, rebirth, and a spiritual awakening. And the root itself, stems from, no pun intended, but themes of the Egyptians, Buddhism, and Hinduism. And the lotus flower is a common symbol in, all of those facets. So you may have some type of connection to that or find some themes that speak to you there. What else do we have? We have an energy shift. Yes, so claiming your power when you bloom into that confidence that I was just previously speaking about. And I was listening to music. Sometimes we get some channeled messages, some lyrical messages, pardon me. And I Will Survive came up for you. And something about having the final say. But even like thinking to the lyrics, how the song begins is, at first I was afraid, I was petrified, thinking I could never live without you by my side. Then I spent so many nights thinking how you did me wrong. Then I grew strong, and I learned how to get along. So, pardon my singing, but maybe there's something about claiming your power back from somebody who has wronged you. We're going to get into that further in the reading. But we also have trials and tribulations. Okay, so that ties nicely into what I was just speaking about. You may have felt like you faced judgment that was not fair to you or that was unjust, and you may have felt like other people failed to have a sense of accountability or maybe even blamed you for your accountability. What I want you to know, Aquarius, is that you have your own personal truth, and you don't have to feel the need to be overly defensive if you know and are comfortable with your own personal truth. We're going to touch back on that in a bit as well. But also, your reliability may have come into question, but again, it's about having a sense of awareness, knowing when the truth is being spoken and when it is not. Not sure why these messages are coming out for you. It's a little bit ominous, but before I get back to that, let's quickly look at numbers that may be of significance to you. We have 8, 5, 5, 5, 21, 1, 2, 3, 4, 11, 48, 49, and 50. These oracle cards came out in succession, which these cards being shuffled regularly and all the time is super rare, but I feel like is an indication that you are on a forward moving path. And for other numbers, we have 5 once again, and I believe that's it. Okay, so going back to being wronged, Aquarius, we have priorities. Are your priorities in check? When it comes to this potential other energy, there's something coming through about why should you need to ask them about what their priorities are when actions should speak louder than words. And And also there's a sense of observation over obsession here, making sure that, you don't need to exert too much energy, exertion of energy causing emotional exhaustion. Yeah, because it may be tolling to just overthink and obsess about this when the actions are clear. They're right in front of you. Why do you need to go back and forth having menial conversations or redundant conversations? Drawing back, maybe, and really harnessing your sense of self-preservation may require a lot of mental strength. I have also weightlifting here. In the middle, that little green thing is supposed to be an arrow, but it ended up looking like a weight. So maybe there's something significant about you going to the gym, some kind of new workout routine. But also there we have burden carrying and self-improvement. So it may be a new mental feat for you to realize what burdens you want to metaphorically be lifting continuously, right? Do these burdens help you to gain a sense of self-improvement, or are they detrimental? When we are working out, right? In a literal sense, we need to up the ante if we want to see results. We're not just going to lift 5 pounds forever. We need to continue the progress, right? So growth requires consistent effort, and also giving yourself the grace to heal, realizing that you don't have to carry too many burdens. You don't have to fill your plate, Aquarius. You don't have to feel like you are responsible for the judgments of others, okay? Other people have their own opinion, their own perspective, and that is just fine, so long as you don't let it negatively impact you. And when it gets to that point, you have to consider if maybe somebody is being negative or manipulative or whatever you may be encountering, okay, without getting too specific. What else do we have here? So yes, potent persistence and perseverance, that's important for you right now, making sure that you stay on track, staying true to yourself, as always, of course. Practice does make perfect, so in terms of releasing these burdens and gaining that mental strength, I think it's going to take a couple of tests. There's going to be some karmic tests from the universe headed your way, I do believe, but as long as you carry yourself with a strong sense of dignity and moral pride and carry forth with the fortitude that you have, gained through your resilience and all of the, difficulties that you've faced, there's definitely a promise of potential. Now, there's also something coming in about ancestral protection and divine power that may just have to do with the spiritual awakening. But I do love these oracle cards that we have here. First of all, I want to speak about you and your loved ones are safe. Aquarius, you may be a parent. If you are not, just leave this message behind. But there's something about worrying about your loved ones, trying to keep them safe and protecting them. Now is a lucky time. So kind of like I just said, there's a promise of potential. That's a confirmation right there. Be careful of your emotions, to temper your emotions during this time. Maybe be careful of potential aggressive outbursts or emotionally high-strung situations. Or also, perhaps, make sure that you are filling your own cup appropriately, okay? Taking care of yourself when necessary, when you need to, taking that step back when you feel like you're overwhelmed, taking a deep breath, all right? Now we have the porcupine spirit, time for the beginner mind. This also kind of shows some kind of ancestral, depiction, so I feel like that has maybe something to do with you. Maybe it has some relevance, maybe not, but I'm going to touch back on that message last because I want to read that description to you, darling. Once again, now is a lucky time. I want to reiterate that for you. Does it mean that luck is just going to fall into your lap? No, it will take work, it will take perseverance, but the options are available to you for a brand new beginning. And with the Rhino Spirit here, this is probably one of my favorite cards in this deck. It's so beautiful. Overcome any obstacle. This makes me feel like it ties back to that whole theme of strength, right? Having the mental fortitude, the capability to overcome any obstacles, which I have full confidence that you can do, Aquarius. Let's step into tarot. We have the Page of Swords here. You have been learning about a new way of living, I think, about not only yourself, but your independence, looking at things with fresh eyes. And also with the Hermit here, it's about withdrawing and introspecting. It's about gaining perspective and leading with grace, with almost a silent sense of self-awareness. I hope that makes sense. But you have strength in what you know. And it kind of does, again, tie back to your confidence here that I hope that you will be gaining and overcoming any fear and insecurities, okay? In the past here, there may have been something that you regretted putting your time, energy, and effort into because it didn't turn out the way that you had planned. Maybe it's left you even feeling defeated and disappointed, maybe lacking a sense of optimism for the future. However, Aquarius, it's important for you to acknowledge that what you have lost is also something negative that you are leaving behind. There's something toxic or seemingly detrimental to you here. Despite the fact that you're losing it, I think that this other energy that you're coming into is much healthier. And to close the tarot, we have the Sun. So, once you go through this healing process and realize that, in fact, what you have left behind is negative and is not serving you, is not something good to have in your life, you will find a sense of not only clarity, but happiness. You'll start feeling more content and feeling like you can see things clearly. Finally, Aquarius, I want to talk to you about this Rhino Spirit card because it's my fave. So I have to put this down for a sec. Hold on. Okay. We have, or sorry, not Rhino Spirit. Oh, my bad. I wanted to talk to you about this Porcupine Spirit. My mistake. So time for beginner mind. The Oracle message says that when Porcupine Spirit calls your name, you are being asked to adopt a beginner's mind and to approach situations with innocence and curiosity. The old, confining stories no longer have a hold on you. Life is full of surprises hiding in plain sight. Looking at the world afresh with new eyes can help you find what you have been seeking, whether it is a relationship, an opportunity, or evidence that you have all you need right now to co-create what you desire. Who knew? Porcupines ask you to be playful and have a childlike curiosity. There is so much waiting for you that you have yet to discover. And your protection message to close it off, Aquarius, is, are you feeling prickly and defensive lately and assuming you will be hurt before you have even seen any sign that such a reaction is called for? Perhaps an old sense of guilt and shame is causing you to be cynical and wary when you are meant to be open and curious. Self-protection is a good thing, but you may be protecting yourself from something that will not actually harm you, but instead will bring you abundance, happiness, and love. Remember your innocence, and you will see what you have been overlooking. Porcupine quills are filled with air, allowing a porcupine to float in water. Now is a time to let your innocent nature keep you buoyant. Ah, what a cool, fun fact to close your reading, Aquarius. And I do feel like it ties into everything that we spoke about very nicely. So I hope that it helped a beautiful Aquarian out there. And until we meet again, good luck and love and light. Mwah.